In this video, we will learn how to use settings in SmartPOS. Click on Settings. These are the different settings you can change. Let's begin with Business Settings. This is the Business Settings window. Here you can view the details of your company. Only the company name, address, and city. Under the Branches tab, you can view the details of all your branch stores. Then, you can view the company details here, along with the email ID and website. You can also upload a company logo here. Click on Set Logo and select the logo of your company. You see it here. This is what you can edit in Business Settings. The next function is called License Details. This is where a support person can update the license details of the software. Then, there's Application Settings. This is where the settings of the entire application can be managed. Under Auto-Generated Number, you'll find all the prefixes for all the receipts that get generated. You can change the prefix placement and the number of digits in the number. Next, there's General Settings. Here you can set a prefix for weighted items. For example, 21. Then you can give a length for weighted items. You can select the default pack type, and then you can check the promotional items returnable if you want to allow customers to return promotional items. Click on Save. Then the POS settings. The first option is Allow Negative Stock. If you check this option, then the stock count can display a negative value. This may happen when you perform a return or a sale. Then, you can customize the number of quick item buttons. Specify the minimum pickup amount and maximum pickup amount. Here you can enable the quick end of the day feature and also decide whether or not to calculate the opening cash with end of the day. Here you have an option of choosing whether or not to view the balance message pop-up. Currently, it is set to show the pop-up. Over here, you can check this box if you want to view the item search as a drop-down, and you can check this box if you want quantity focus. Next, you can decide if you want to make customer GST mandatory while adding a customer, and the supplier GST mandatory while adding a supplier, and the HSN code mandatory while adding an item. Furthermore, you can customize the payment options that you're using. If you're not using some of these payment options, you can uncheck them. The ones that you're using will need to be checked. Finally, you can check the cumulative quantity option. That is, if you want to have multiple additions of the same item to be shown cumulatively. Once everything is filled out, click on Save. Now let's move on to POS receipt settings. Here you can change the branch code and all the different texts that are printed on the bill. You can also choose what headers to show and what headers to hide. You can do the same with footers as well. For example, if I disable Bill Footer 1, this text won't be printed on the bill. You can also choose if you want barcode to be included on the POS receipt, and you can also choose if you want the logo of the company to be printed on the receipt. Then, click on Save. Once you're finished using this function, go ahead and close it. The changes will be applied. Now let's take a look at the Reports Template function. Here you can choose a report template for different purposes. That is POS receipt, end of day receipt, or for credit sales. Each template is different. If you want template 2, check on this and click on Save. Now the second template will be used on the POS receipt. Similarly, you can do the same for end of day receipt. You can change the template you want to use, and you can do the same thing for credit sales too. Click on Save and then close the window. The next settings is the device settings. This is where you configure the details of any hardware you connect to this application. If you're connecting a printer, you'll have to fill up the details in this section. If it's a pole or a cash drawer, you'll have to fill in these details. After filling everything out, click on Save and Close. The details will be updated. Next up, you have loyalty settings. If you're giving loyalty points for customers, you can set the percentage here. For example, you can give 1%. Here you can set the purchase about amount. For example, if the customer purchases items worth over 100 rupees, 1% of that amount will be credited as a loyalty point. This loyalty point can be redeemed later. Click on Save and Close. The loyalty percentage will be applied. Finally, we have shortcut key settings. These are the shortcuts that are already provided in the application. You can use all these shortcuts in a retail sales screen or a wholesale screen. You can also edit any of these shortcuts. Take subtotal for example. To edit it, you can click on the Edit button. Here you can select another shortcut key. You can select Ctrl S for example, then click on Save and Close. The shortcut will be updated. Email settings is used to link an email to the application, and customer settings will be used by support personnel.